Hi. Hello. Whoa. Hi. Hello. Hi. You snuck up on us. How did that happen?
I don't know.
Ron is saying hello from northern Indiana, where it is a breezy 82 degrees.
Oh, it better be breezy.
It's going to be 81 here today.
Is
so
it?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw that on the telephone. Hello. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi.
I'm Sean.
I'm Lizzie.
And we're from Pashta Design.
Indeed.
And we are here to stitch live with you. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
However you might be joining us.
Indeed.
Android, iPhone, iPad, tablet, desktop.
Not sure why we're listing all of the technologies that could be, but
you know, any of these things. Maybe you're watching us on your virtual reality headset. But whether you're watching live right now or whether you're watching sometime later in the day, we really appreciate you being here.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, to take a look, because we like stitching, and we're going to show you how to stitch.
Yeah.
Or Lizzie's going to show you how to stitch.
Yeah.
What are we stitching today?
We're stitching the Joyful Rainbow.
Ooh, the Joyful Rainbow. Tell me more about this.
This came out...
First, I'm going to go picture-in-picture there.
Dandy. This just came out recently. I need to bring it further over.
Yeah, you could bring that out further. What do you mean by recently? This is hot off the presses.
Yes.
Yeah.
This came out week and a half ago.
Something like that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it features a rainbow and stripes, and there are clouds, and there are raindrops should you choose to use them, and a heart accessory as well. And so we're gonna work with that today.
That's great. Do you have a finished one?
That would have been a great choice.
That would have been a great... So you don't have a finished one. So the only way to see the finished one is you're going to have to... When you're going through stitching, keep going. That's the only way to see the finished one today. That's fine. No. That's fine.
I left them all in the barn. I'm so sorry.
You left them all in the barn. That's okay.
I did.
That's okay. I know what a rainbow looks like, and they'll soon know what your rainbow looks like, too.
Yes.
They can't see what you're fussing with.
I know.
I can see what you're doing.
I'm fussing because I was going to try and see if I could put one loosely together, but we're just going to put it together. So.
This is great. People have said people have already purchased the rainbow.
I'm so glad.
Mm-hmm. And someone's stitching along with her favorite hopscotch colors.
Oh, I love those.
And Barbara says, hello from the UK. Thanks for the quick delivery of my dies and Christmas kit. Huzzah! Her Christmas stuff got to already.
I'm very excited about
In case you're wondering what can Brown do for you, there you go. Right there. Boom. That's awesome.
We've had a little bit of a trial with USPS and international orders, especially to the UK. So
Barbara just said if I was kind, I would go get them from the barn. To the barn and back.
Sorry.
Okay. Now that that's hit the table, I feel like I have to go.
I don't know what to say. I feel terrible.
Where do you know where they are? Are they by them?
I have an idea.
What's that? No, don't do that. No, don't do that. We don't need to do that. I know what you're thinking.
We don't need to just look at the one on my phone
What?
I've got a photo.
You're not going to show them a photo from your telephone, are we?
I am.
Really? We're going to do that?
Yeah, because I'm the worst.
Okay, well then, what does that look like at full screen? Hang on a second. Oh boy. Okay.
So this is the rainbow. We're going to do the one with the stripes. The one that I did without the stripes, those are just chain stitches to make the stitches stand out.
Now everybody knows your smartphone is a rectangle.
I'm sorry. Was that not the only option? Can I opt for a circle? I don't understand.
I can't believe that you made fun of me for starting the show by saying, however you're watching us, thanks for being here, Android, iPad, what have you. And then we went ahead and did this.
We didn't have to list every piece of technology. But yes, this is what the rainbow looks like. And this one does have a lot of zhuzh on it. I'm not going to zhuzh today because I'm going to show you the quickest way to do the rainbow. But I'll explain some of these more time-involved options as well. I'm going to turn this on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not...
That's great. Well, we're already in our Hollywood circles over here, so you can get started. We're ready to stitch.
All right, Hollywood circles.
Hollywood circles. Hi, Shari. Hello, everybody. Hi, Deb. Mary, Shari, Barbara, Wendy is here. Kelly is here. Audrey's here. Deb. We got lots of people here.
We're going to start with 2 base pieces.
Okie dokes.
If you're doing this, if you're not going to stuff it, you don't have to use 2 base pieces.
Okay.
But I would suggest it just because it's going to be much easier to hide your ends. your stitching ends.
If you don't use the 2, and then all your thread they're going to be seen from the back, is what you're saying.
No, well, you could hide them underneath the stripes, but that's way more effort than I want to put into anything. So I would suggest using 2 base pieces.
Okay.
And today...
And that's a Tundra.
Yes.
Of course.
I'm using Tundra for the base.
Tundra for the base pieces.
And here we're going to use Amethyst for the purple.
Okay.
I'm going to start on the inside.
You're going to start on the inside with Amethyst. Okay.
Yes. Now, if you do want to stuff it so that the whole rainbow is fluffy.
Okay.
This is how you would do that. You would stitch on everything from the second stripe, which in our case today is going to be tangerine. Marigold. Sorry, I'm just sort of laying them down here to show you what you would do if you were stuffing.
And then Katie did.
And then Katie did. And then sapphire.
Sapphire is the blue you've got there.
Yes.
Okay.
So you would stitch those layers on to both of your base pieces first. And the rainbow is not symmetrical. The clouds are not symmetrical. So you're going to have to be stitching through the wrong side of one of them. So you'd be putting on, you don't have to, no. You would not put on the amethyst. You would do the rest of them.
Oh.
Just those 4 stripes to start with.
Okay.
Then, when you went to attach everything, you would do the amethyst and the cardinal because you have to stitch through all 4 layers.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's how you would stuff it. And then what, you stitch the clouds together last?
Yeah, I would stitch the clouds together last because then you can stuff through the ends.
So those are tips if you wanted to sew together a puffy rainbow.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have done that. And this, if you were going to do it that way, this is when it would be easy to, like, after you got your stripes, adding sequins and beads and stuff.
Sure.
But today, I'm going to do a flat rainbow. So I'll show you how to do that because it's the quickest way because you are sewing through all the layers at once. So you don't have to do one side, then the other side. You're doing all of them at the same time.
Got it.
Make sense? Okay.
We've got all the heavies here today, by the way. Shari and Mary and Audrey and Miriam are all in this chat right now. The pros from Dover are here. They're playing kart golf. I'm glad they're here today. And Shari's excited because she says her zippers arrived today.
Yay!
That's right. Okay. It is XYZ down at Shari's house. That's awesome. All right. So the first thing you're doing is
I'm separating my 3 strands of thread and getting those into my needle.
So you're going to use the different color of thread for every one of the rainbow bars.
Correct.
Every one of the What do you call the individual
stripes
inside a rainbow? You call them stripes?
Bands.
Ooh, bands. Could be.
They're bands of color.
Yeah, they could be bands. I don't know if there was like a... Mary's got her zips as well. Look at that. All right. Barbara's zips are due tomorrow, it looks like.
All right.
Okay, so now we know how quickly everyone got their zippers from last week when we stitched the coin purse. Look at that. Shari says bows, that the individual parts of their really are called bows.
All right.
Audrey also says bows. Really? The yellow bow, the blue bow? We are looking up in nature. I'm thinking about this now. Okay.
Sure. Well, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to layer all of the pieces stacked on top. Because I'm doing both sides with bows.
You're doing bows on both sides.
Correct.
You have an amethyst bow on the front that we can see.
Yes, and I will put the one on the back here in just a second.
While you're stitching.
Correct.
So the first tip is you're going in between the layers of Tundra.
Yes.
I saw that you went in between the Tundra layers.
Yes.
And you're doing... You basically went through one side of the project.
Yep.
And now you're getting the amethyst on the back side of the project.
Yes, I am.
So that when you complete your first full stitch,
it will hold everybody
It'll hold everybody in place. Okay.
Everybody in. Yep. Just like that.
Okay.
And that way you're only sewing each bow once. You're not sewing each bow a bajillion times. Yes.
I believe that Shari has put into the chat circumhorizontal arcs. Circumhorizontal arcs, but I'm not saying that. Nobody asked you to say that, Shari, but you did type it. So, joke's on you. I would never question Shari on rainbows, Miriam said.
That's true. That's totally true.
You know, I would like to live my life by the theme of not questioning Shari or really anybody else in the chat, but the live would have a different tone if I wasn't tossing out questions to the people in the chat. That's true. Unfortunately, don't hate the player, hate the game. Sure. Heather also got her zippers yesterday, and they came super fast.
Nice.
Just like you said they would. That's great.
They did a great job when I ordered from them.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just doing a running stitch. On these ones because I'm using the actual stripes.
You're not using a circumhorizontal stitch?
Turns out.
Okay, that's not the case. I just thought I'd ask. Stitch. You know, I just thought I'd ask.
You could do like a blanket stitch on the edges, but I don't have the patience for a blanket stitch most of the time. So I'm just doing backs and forths here. Sorry,
I think you're doing okay. No, I think you've been pretty good today. You're kind of in the lower right quadrant. I think it's been fine. Okay. I'm just glad the camera was fussing right before we were logging on. Our overhead camera was.
I'll do my best not to bump it. By the way, I'm using DMC 155. I'll just leave that up there. So
155. There you go. That is our match for amethyst felt.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just I'm going through all of the layers. Now, if you were going to stuff it, you'd be going through all the layers too. But this is where we're going to start because it's just easier to tie off when you start at the base like this.
It's easier to tie off when you start at the base?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because it's like you get, because your end is like way down here and it's no big deal to grab it. But also if like you run out of thread and you're like, I don't know, mid-arc on the orange, it's not a good time trying to get up there and tie your ends if you're coming in through it as opposed to down to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. What I was really curious about is whether or not you've stitched them both ways. Like, did you try and stitch one from the top down and stitch one from the bottom up?
I did, and that's why we're doing it this way.
Got it. I just want to make sure that you were speaking from experience, yes. That you were not just.
No, I find it easier to start with the smallest arch and work my way up.
I just want Shari to know that as I'm putting in instructional time codes, I just put one in that said, starting to stitch your rainbow, beginning with the bottom circumhorizontal arc. So it's going to be there. It's going to be there forever. It's in the show notes.
Oh boy.
So I'm fully committed to the lingo.
Yeah.
To the verbiage. Oh, Miriam says it can be done from the top, and ask me how I know.
It can. Oh, it can be. I've done it both ways.
Yeah.
I just find this way easier.
That's fine. Also, purple's your least favorite color, so you're getting that out of the way.
No.
You know, just boom, 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 boom.
Sure. I'm going with very bright, like primary style colors today.
Yeah, I didn't know how far we would get into that. We can table this conversation for later, and by we can table, I mean you don't have to tell me your answers in the chat right at this moment. But there are so many different like flavors of rainbows that could come out of our box of crayon color, don't you think?
Somebody asked me via DM today. She's like, "What would you consider a good palette for like a boho muted style color palette?" And I said I would think on it, and I have been thinking on it. But I also thought that the sweater weather color palette was a good place to start.
Oh yeah,
because it's got like the russet in there. It's got the agave. It's got the fig.
I know that we're already talking about how we have a kind of a mini release coming out with the new color story.
Yes.
But I almost wonder if there's an e-newsletter that could just be like us taking a few snappy pictures of not just color stories that already exist, but like we could go and grab new flavors of rainbow and just send a newsletter that was like, hey everybody,
taste the rainbow.
Yeah, taste or what flavor of Skittle are you, right? Because the Skittles all have different, you know what I mean? The different flavors of Skittles.
Sure.
I'm thinking about this really hard now.
That is all true. That is a thing that happens. But I do think if you were going for like a boho rainbow, that the did I grab the right one? Yes, I did. That the sweater weather color palette is a good place to start. And then
I'm sorry. What is boho?
It's like bohemian chic, kind of softer, more muted, more neutrally kinds of tones.
Why is it called boho? Bohemian.
Bohemian, yeah.
Oh, but it's hemian. So how did the ho get in there? I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't have the entomology of the linguistical phrases.
That would be the philology. But okay. So that's where boho comes from. That would be great. Break out the swatches. See, Shari's excited about this. Oh, Mary says it. Oh, look at that. Hey.
I bet we could. I bet we could come up with a palette of a couple of different things. The problem is...
What's the problem?
I would want to make projects for each of those color palettes.
No.
Like make a rainbow for each one. I guess it wouldn't be...
No, you have to do that. We could put it out there and then people could take us up on the color stories. They could make the projects and then they could electronic mail us the photos. Zip zap. We could crowdsource this bad boy.
We'll think on it.
Because I don't know about you, but whenever I'm packing orders and people choose a variety of felt, I'm always thinking about what people are doing.
Sean's always thinking to himself, boy, these are interesting colors to use together. And I have to remind him every time, like, honey, just because they bought them together does not mean they'll necessarily use them together. I understand that, but it should surprise nobody in the chat now or anybody who's watching later that there is... By the way, I am starting the sapphire, not sapphire.
Sapphire.
It's
very common. It's very common for people to order a rainbow of colors from us.
Yeah.
Like it happens once or twice a week. You can look down and be like, oh, this person just bought 8 rolls of felt, and they are very deliberately in the Roy G. Biv, spectrum.
Which is great.
And which is awesome. And then you get to see like what everyone thinks their rainbow would be like.
Rainbow would be.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. And sometimes people just order colors together that I think look really nice. And sometimes I take pictures of them and I text them to you. And I'm like, accidental color story.
Yeah, the accidental color story. Absolutely.
I love that.
And I text them sometimes to you. And I'm like, I don't know what this person's going for, but they seem like they have wandered off into the wilderness.
And I then remind you that they don't have to use them all together.
Of course. I know that people are not using the colors all together. But it's funny to think about, like, I don't know. I don't know what Pete's doing here, but he's done something.
I don't know what Pete's doing either, but...
Heather says, LOL, I buy random colors because I'm trying to collect them all. Renee says, my orders always look like I'm drunk. See, they know.
It's fun.
You know what's really... I think just now I looked at the screen. I kept just laughing and my chin went to the sky and your chin went to the chest.
Yeah.
That's the up down there. That's great.
The up down.
The up down.
I got my little bow got stuck there on itself. Well, I like doing the rainbows this way because it makes them feel extra sturdy. Whoopsies.
You're saying you like doing the rainbow with the extra piece of tundra in the back because they feel more sturdy.
No, I like... Well, yes, but no. But I meant I like doing the rainbows flat like this.
Uh-huh.
Because it makes them feel almost like quilted. Oh,
you're saying you don't like stuffing the rainbow.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying I do like this.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I got it.
I'm not anti-stuffing. A little...
Oh, yeah. Look, you stuff the clouds, but keep that... I don't know why, but my knee-jerk reaction is flat rainbows all day. Like...
Well, I mean, they're flat in real life.
They seem very flat in real life, don't they?
Right.
Yeah, they seem very flat in real life. I guess if you stuff them, they're kind of like marshmallows, aren't they?
They're
kind of like...
And I have stuffed them.
They're kind of like a rainbow marshmallow that's in a cereal that I don't know if I can... Can I say rainbow... Is it Lucky Charms? Lucky Charms is the name of the cereal.
Yes.
If Andy was here right now, we would know it. we dropped a Lucky Charms reference, and somehow he would let us know.
He didn't pop into existence.
He would. Yeah, exactly. Poof. He would materialize.
Oh golly. I have I don't think I've ever done a rainbow the same way twice so far. I think I've used different colors for each one of them.
Well, now I feel like I have to go to the barn to see if you're fibbing to us.
Well, I know.
Are they all out there?
No.
They're not all out there.
Well, I gave one away.
Oh, that's right. You gave one away.
For someone's birthday.
Yes, for someone's birthday. It was given away. I understand that.
But no, I think it's really fun to come up with. I mean, because we've got so many, maybe not reds, but we've got reds and pinks.
Yeah.
Like ripe raspberry is a really good first bow.
Uh-huh.
So would rouge would be really good. I've used rouge as one of my first bows.
Oh, what you're doing now is you're naming the kind of pinky reds that you wanted. I'm gonna gather it up. Beam me up, Scotty.
Could take a minute.
I was in
I don't know that I can fill that much time by myself.
Have you used Katydid in a rainbow before? This is the first.
I used Katydid thread, I believe, but I did not use the layer.
When was Katydid introduced? That is such an electric green.
That was a July 2 years ago.
July 2 years ago. Was it released in a color story?
Twas.
What was it? What was the first? This is like comic books to me. What was the first appearance of Katydid?
Jolly Holiday.
Jolly Holiday was the first appearance of Katydid?
Yes.
I don't know what Jolly Holiday looks like.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I'm going to go find out right now.
Poolside and cardinal and pistachio.
Now you're just showing off. I have no idea how you can just... There, as we've said before, there are over 55 color stories. Every one of the color stories has at least 3, but all of them have 5 rolls. And you just rifle off the blends off the top of your head.
I made them.
Wow. So Jolly Holiday. Yeah, I know Jolly Holiday. What is that? That's Cardinal, Katydid, Glacier? Poolside.
Pistachio. Taffy.
Taffy. Huh. All right, so that's the first appearance of Katydid.
Tis.
Okay, that's good to know. Has Katydid appeared in another color story?
I don't believe so.
I'm looking right now on our own website, and let's see if I have the tags in there correctly.
I don't think it has.
I don't think it has either. Okay, that might be it's one shot. First and only appearance. Heather says that Katydid is one of her favorites.
I love Katydid. I think it's really fun, but it's definitely a brighter green that,
If
everybody...
Barbara just said she's going to put her earphones in now because she's going to eat dinner, and then she listed everything that she's getting to have for dinner tonight. And if I had not had lunch already, she'd be making me hungry.
Oh boy.
She's having sausages, mash, and cabbage. I just had some coleslaw, Barbara, right before we filmed this bad boy. Also cabbage. There you go.
All right.
Strawberries and meringue ice cream. Get out of here. Barbara knows how to party, man. Okay.
All right. So our Katydid layer.
Oh, there we go. Speaking
in a color story, like pronto.
This is the first I've ever thought about thinking of the colors as first appearances. So now it really resonates with me.
So now it's like a comic thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's perfect for St. Patrick's Day. You're right about that. It's a great St. Patrick's color.
It is. Perhaps next year. I didn't do anything specifically St. Patrick's Day this year.
Yeah, that's when we were caught up.
Because we had a whole...
We were caught up in the manufacturing log jam.
So maybe next year we'll do a color story and some new dyes.
If we have the luck of the Irish, we'll give it a try.
Fingers crossed.
That could be the St. Patrick's Day color story name. It could be called Luck of the Irish.
It could.
Luck o' the Irish.
Luck of the Irish.
The cabbage was intended for coleslaw, but we always run out of veg on Tuesdays. Deb says Katydid is also a great color for Girl Scouts. There you go. There you go for the Girl Scouts out there in everybody's lives. Mm-hmm.
It would be. All right. So we're going to go Katydid next.
Okay.
I'm coming through the same side on all of them, starting over here.
Okay.
And you're going to go through the bottom hole. Oops.
Obviously, the shorter your circumhorizontal arcs are going to be, the faster each one of those arcs is going to be to stitch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But they come together pretty quick.
Mary Kobe says, I went crazy with Katydid on my clover wreath, and it reminded me of my school uniforms. Oh yeah, there you go. A very sort of collegiate. I'm glad
It is like a collegiate or like a good school green.
Mm-hmm.
My school was this sapphire color, so I don't.
We talking about the Bulldogs?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
both of them. Both.
That's
of
what
my
I'm saying.
schools.
Anthony Wayne too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you think of them both as being sapphire? It's not a blue ribbon color?
No, I think they're more like true cobalty.
Yeah, I almost wonder if that's like
blue ribbon has a little bit of a green undertone that
I'm trying to decide if we have a blue that really. I mean, like feels like that particular blue, like bulldog blue, kind of like falls right through the felt wall cracks.
Well, I'll do my best. I'll get on it. No,
like,
but I think sapphire's as close as
because it's almost like your water bottle here that is just off camera. That kind of blue. Like we don't really have a blue that matches that. And that to me is the more like scholastic.
That's the closest.
Yeah.
And then for you would be burgundy, probably.
Married 10 years of
Yes.
Right here. How did Mary know that the alternate name for katydid was private school? Do you think we should call this green private school or katydid? I don't know. I like katydid. I think a little bit better. Yeah, I think I like that.
Sings.
Better. It sings. Oh, Boylan's. Okay.
Tilly asked me this morning for a mom joke instead of a dad joke, and I was irritated, so I told her I was working. And I didn't tell a joke, but if I had, that'd be the joke.
There are no such thing as dad jokes. They're just jokes.
Yeah.
Like when I was a child, there were no dad jokes. They were just called jokes back then. Okay. I don't understand how they became connected to dads. Just like how there weren't bromances. People were just friends. Like that's the craziest thing.
I don't know what to say.
Okay.
I did not originate either one of those terms.
Yeah, but you're using them liberally.
Liberally?
Yeah, liberally, all the time. With great frequency.
Yes, I speak often about bromances.
Precisely.
You know me and my bromance conversations.
So then it looks like you've got, somewhere off camera, I can see the silver thread. Was that your plan today with the clowns?
Yes. Yes, I will show you how I do my silver thready.
Turns out Barbara's school colors were maroon, gray, and white. We were just maroon and white, Barbara. Yes. We were not gray, but we were maroon and white. And when my mom watches this later, if she's not watching this now, she could let everybody know that the trouble with maroon as a school color is no two maroons ever match. So from like 7th grade cross country to 8th grade cross country, the maroons didn't look the same. And then like the shorts you wore for band did not match the shorts that you wore for, wrestling. Like you could never match maroons. That didn't keep it from being a beautiful shade though. You know what I mean? Like sure. That maroon, you see maroon and white, you just get that warm feeling in your belly. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I bet somebody else in this chat was rocking maroon when they were young too. Oh, Shari was red, white, and blue. Look at that.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Tried and true. Can't stop, won't stop.
Did Sousa write your school march? Or?
Go Hornets. Miriam says Katie did in gold. Look at that.
Wow.
Katie did in gold. Okay. I feel like you'd have to strut on the field if your colors were Katie did in gold. You know what I mean?
Good.
Something very
some panache.
Those strutting Hornets out there. That's a vivid thing. This is great that people are talking about their school colors, and now Miriam is rolling in with the mascot because talking about people's high school mascots used to be a question I would ask new team members at the restaurant, like yes. Not for the interview or on their first day, but it was always like a pretty quick,
it's a pretty early on
question for me. And when people, especially, were talking about high school, not high school students, but like college students. And they would like demur or be like, I don't remember. You're like, how do you not remember like what the mascot is? Like, I don't understand. That's a very crazy thing. We were the Cardinals, red, white, and black, says Deb. Oh. There you go. Very sinister Cardinals.
I guess, I don't know. I think both of my schools used a little bit of sterling. They both had a little gray.
A little bit. Renee says they were navy and orange and they had to get permission from UT to use the same Tennessee orange. Look at that.
Wow.
Barbara says her brother's school was chocolate and gold. Huh.
Oh.
Chocolate, eh? I guess that's better than saying brown and gold, right?
I mean, I could go for some chocolate.
Is there a difference between... Okay, so I'm going to go to the barn. This is like that ABC game. I'm going to the barn, and I'm grabbing the rainbows and the chocolate. Shari says, there were the Falcons. All right, talons up. There you go. The falcon does not seem to me a particularly like red, white, and blue color to me.
Well, but to me, the Falcons are bowling green, so they're orange and
yeah,
brown.
I suppose. When I think of falcons, I do not think of red, white, and blue. They're a different kind of color family to me. The least patriotic of the raptors.
Sure.
Kelly says, they were the orange and black tigers in high school, and they were the polar bears in college.
Nice.
See, she didn't tell us where, and so now like we should be able to think about who were the polar bears in college. Poor Shari. Shari's just doing the shrugging emoji. Like, I just went to school there. Don't at me.
The team.
Don't at me, bro. Oh, that's funny.
Okay. I'm all tangled. Okay.
You got through Katie did?
I got through Katie did.
Look at that. Okay. And then it looks like you've got daffodil?
Marigold.
That's marigold, huh?
It is.
Swing and a miss. I just put daffodil back in the bin from the overflow today.
Daffodil's a little softer.
Oh, okay. So there's... Yeah, okay.
Yep. And
wait, Kelly says Ohio Northern. That's right. Ohio Northern. We should have known this. The polar bears are in Ada. That's Ohio Northern's mascot. That's where Kelly went to school.
We're Ohio. What on earth? That doesn't make... What?
I knew that sounded familiar. I'm like, the polar bear sounds really familiar. And the thing about college mascots is when you get a unique one like that, nobody else is the polar bears.
No, but my question is, like, how you not like Anchorage or something? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We're in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
The only polar bears we see are safely tucked behind zoo gates. You know what I'm saying?
Miriam says their college was the Seagulls. How's that for vicious? Hey, that's okay, Miriam. My cousin Linda, where she went to college, they were the Golden Retrievers. And when she had been in high school, they were the Bluebirds.
And the other cousin you have, they were like the Roosters or something.
The Rooster is way more fierce than a Golden Retriever or a Bluebird,
yes.
right? It's like, can you imagine, like
Wasn't there also like a turtle in there somewhere?
The University of Maryland, they're the Terrapins.
That's a turtle?
Yeah, it's a turtle, but it sounds cool.
It sounds like a turtle.
It's a very particular type of turtle. All right. Oh, and Shari says in junior high, they were the Raiders. Which that tracks, because back home, Shari, there was a red, white, and blue team in my county that they were the Raiders too.
All right, we're gonna get our marigold strip on here.
What thread color are you using for marigold?
Marigold is 743. Sorry,
743. No, you did a great job there. Oh,
worse.
Okay.
It got
worse, not better. Okay.
Okay. So we're just gonna come between the layers, up through.
Now
you mentioned bottom hole.
You mentioned earlier, you're a little off right there. You could shift to the left. You mentioned earlier that you could use a blanket stitch instead of a running stitch.
On the edges.
That's what I was just... Oh,
yes.
You scooped my question.
Sorry.
I was looking for your question in the formed like an answer. So you could only use the blanket stitch on the edges.
Someone can... I think it's for the edges. It's a blanket.
Everyone's continuing with their colors, which is great. I think I left off at the Seagulls. Or sorry. Barbara says their local primary school is teal and purple. That they have black trousers and white polo shirts.
So like the Miami Dolphins.
No. Miami Dolphins is teal and orange. I don't think there's much purple in the Dolphins there. Teal and purple. Teal and purple is like, that was the Charlotte Hornets, and then they moved, and then they came back. And I don't know if our colors are there anymore. What?
Nothing. I was going to say a team, but then I realized I don't know what I'm talking about, and it's a different sport than I was thinking of, so never mind.
Deb let us know that there is a high school in St. Paul that are the polar bears. There you go. Okay.
See, St. Paul makes more sense to me than Ohio.
For polar bears, absolutely. Is Katie in white. Go ahead.
Isn't the Frost... Oh, they're just purple. They don't have any teal.
Yeah, the Minnesota Frost is mostly, it's like, there's like a pink color and a purple color.
Okay.
It's
pink
like
and purple.
Yeah,
I thought there was a second color to the purple, but maybe
sorry,
it's just
the Charlotte Hornets are still teal and purple. There you go. There you go. Okay.
We are testing the boundaries of my sports knowledge.
We're doing great here. This is good. Everybody's trivia is going to be honed and ready to go.
That's right.
For this weekend when you're at trivia night down at the local pub.
This weekend, ours is on Tuesday.
You're stitching halfway off the camera now, just as an FYI. Does your chair not shift over every time you do that?
There's a stool there.
Is it the stool is tight? Is the tight to your chair like that?
Yes.
Oh, got it. Well, what if you rotated the chair like
I've tried that.
24 degrees?
I get
something like that. There you go. All right, give that a try.
But then I feel like my back is to you.
It's okay if your back's to me. No one even knows that we sit next to each other. When I sent this to Anthony responded. He said, "Are you in the same room?" That was his question.
Yes.
Like maybe I was like somewhere in a soundboard or something like that.
Sound booth. The only sound booth we have is.
Miriam says, "Don't forget the UC Santa Cruz banana slugs." You know what? Thank you for that, Miriam, because I had forgotten them. I had forgotten about the banana slugs. That's for sure.
Or the Buffalo Sabres Buffa slug.
You can't. The Buffa slug was just the joke that people called the logo they had for a while.
That was it. Looked a little funny. Yes, I get it. I wanted to contribute.
Hey, Good news, everybody. Shari's done our work for us. She's already mapped out 3 different rainbow combos.
There you go.
Look at that. Okay. See, that's what happens when you've got yourself so organized there around the house. You can just bop those out. Shari, are any one of the rainbows, is it a boho rainbow? That's what I want to know. Ho.
I'm trying. He's so proud of himself, you don't even know.
I can't believe it. I just found it at the very end. She says, yes, it is. So one of them must be a boho. Okay, there you go. Ho. The jokes are just writing themselves now. I'm not even here. I feel like I'm just a vehicle that they're just traveling.
They're just traveling
through me now.
They're just your gift.
Renee said I took the question right out of Renee's mouth. That's funny. Okie dokes. All right. Shari's got a boho rainbow for us.
Yeah, I was thinking about this, but I had my hands a little full this morning.
How has it taken us 38 minutes into this to say rainboho? How has it taken that long? It's right there. Rainboho.
It's not going to stop, is it?
Nope, sure isn't. That's the hashtag right there. That is the hashtag.
Oh dear.
This is going to be great because when we do have the triumphant return to St. Patrick's Day next year, we'll be able to kind of package up the rainbow right there with it.
Sure. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. I thought about doing a rainbow with a little pot of gold, but I wanted the rainbow to be by itself.
Yeah, the pot of gold.
For this year.
Pot of gold is going to be like the add-on set. Be cool, man. Be cool about this. I can't believe you just did that to everybody.
I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. Stitching along.
It's funny. No. I was thinking how funny rainbows look before they're fully rainbowed. You know what I mean?
Before they're full bows.
Yeah, it's weird to think about. You're like looking of the orange and the red.
Colors, yeah.
What is that about, huh?
I don't know.
I wish Tyler was here to help me with the color theory right now. I don't know if I sent him the link or not. I mean, he's probably busy like parenting and stuff, so he's not going to be. I'll have to reach out to him about color perception later on today.
Sure.
Barbara says, I feel like we missed out. We had houses named after abbeys in school, and the boys' school had explorers like Scott, Hillary, Drake, and Raleigh. Oh, look at that. A pot of gold could be a witch's cauldron, too, Barbara wanted you to know. Okay. Okie dokie. All right. Have they bugged our house? Do you think is somebody...
Did I accidentally share my Google spreadsheet idea?
Even the walls have ears. Is that what we're talking about?
Our phone is tattling on us to all the people.
Yeah. What's the British spy agency again? I don't remember.
MI5.
Is it MI5? I don't know. Someone's gonna have to correct us there. What the spy agency is over there, but perhaps MI5 is. Well, we were gone for the weekend, right? So maybe that's what happened.
This is what happens when you
This is what happens
use
when
hotel
you do that.
Wi-Fi.
So this is a remarkably, as we're finding out because of the way you're just kind of stitching along here with it, this is a remarkably straightforward project.
Right. If you were going to stuff it and you wanted to embellish it and stuff, add a little sparkle that way, it may get a little more complex. But because then you're doing both sides individually, it takes twice the time.
Yeah, if you were to decide to embellish the rainbow, how do you hide your stitches on that? Because right now...
I told you earlier you were not listening.
Yeah, well, that was busy. I got this whole chat to, you have no idea. You have no idea how hard it is to be on with this chat all the time. It is like
if I'm
a sitting duck out here, they've got a full keyboard and I'm just minding my own beeswax.
No, you're not. If you wanted to embellish the rainbow stripes, I would do the two sides separately as if I were stuffing it. But then you would just embellish each side and then...
But then you'd have to stitch them back together again with the same color. So that'd be a lot of stitching.
What are you talking about?
Oh, so you're saying you would stitch the rainbow together each side first?
Yes.
You get all the circumhorizontal arcs.
Correct.
Onto each side of the tundra piece, right?
Yeah.
And then you would then add embellishment to them.
And then you would sew them together.
But when you're sewing them together, then you've got to get back out like the same colors you stitched with.
No, you don't.
No?
Because the clouds go over this part. So you just need whatever color you're using for your clouds. And
is there a white border stitch around the outside?
No.
Oh.
You would just use the red and the amethyst. The cardinal and the amethyst.
You're saying you would stitch over the cardinal and the amethyst again?
No.
Oh.
You would do those last.
You would do those last?
Yes.
But then how would you, if you wanted to embellish the cardinal or the amethyst, then what would you do?
I did that thing, and I just stitched on my sequins and beads, and then I stitched around them when I stitched the whole thing together.
Got it. I was worried that if you did the embellishing on the one side or the other, then it would essentially be like stitching every one of those circumhorizontal arcs twice, was what I was trying to say.
I suppose you could.
No, you wouldn't want to do that, though. That's a lot of stitching. Yeah, no.
But
here I am saying, like, no. Someone in the chat is going to be like, I did that.
That's the easiest way to do it. No, I just, I added my beads and sequins where I wanted them in like a couple of spots, and then I just stitched around them.
Okay.
As if they were just like layers to deal with.
Everybody, Andy is here.
Oh,
Andy wants to know if anybody could hot glue some Lucky Charms on those bad boys.
Look at that.
I don't know. Andy's going to have to go back and rewind the tape where we, for the first time, mentioned Lucky Charms and then said, if Andy was here right now, he would say something, and then when he did enter the chat, that was the very first thing off the top of his head. That's great. And the answer, Andy, because we take every question in the chat seriously, yes, you could absolutely hot glue some Lucky Charms onto this rainbow.
I suppose if you wanted to, or
what?
You could just put like a little hole through the marshmallows and then stitch them on.
You're probably directly onto there. Oh, now Andy's getting. Shari's letting him know that he's late, and someone told Barbara that glossy accents is great for gluing sequins. I don't know anything about this. Is glossy accents, is that a type of adhesive?
It is.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of glossy accents before.
That is absolutely false information. You just don't realize.
What do you mean?
It's false information. Do you remember the noses on the reindeer that I used to put the dot of shiny stuff on for those boxes of?
Oh, was that glossy accents?
It was.
When you're saying back in your note card days.
Mm-hmm.
But the stationery and Pashta stationery design.
Correct.
So you use
a million times every season, yes.
Yeah, but that isn't, you weren't gluing those. You were just adding a little bit of a finish.
That's what glossy accents.
Oh, got it. So it's meant to be used in the way that you were using it.
But you can use it as an adhesive.
And now Barbara's letting me know that it could be used as an adhesive.
I don't know how it would work with the felt. I would maybe think something like Fabri-Tac might work a little bit.
You and Deb should hang out because Deb just said it's on paper, but I wouldn't try it on fabric or felt. There you go. All right. Well, now we're we're going to have competing ideas across the pond here is what's about to happen. It's going to be
I'm sure you could use hot glue. I have, in fact, hot glued rhinestones to a costume for Tilly before. Her Dolly Parton costume.
But you've never hot glued a Lucky Charm marshmallow, though.
Not a Lucky Charm marshmallow. No,
okay.
I think that might get a little melty because at least in baking,
uh-huh,
sugar is not a dry ingredient, it's a wet ingredient.
Uh-huh.
It actually makes things like soupier.
What if the Lucky Charm became completely encased in the hot glue? You know what I mean? Like a Waterford crystal type situation, or like a mosquito in amber, or like Dwight's stapler in Jello. That's what I'm getting at. Could you do that?
I want nothing to do with that.
You could do that with hot glue?
Here I'm using the new tangerine color, and 947 is the thread that I'm using for that.
Got it.
And I don't have a spool made, bobbin made yet, but that's on my list of things to do.
You haven't made, oh, that's right. So, you have 6 to catch up on, huh?
I think so.
We have got to get the rest of these bad boys out of the barn.
I know.
It says here, Renee uses glue with the bear bottle to glue on felt.
Oh.
She has no issues with that particular glossy accents. And then Newberry, sorry that he's late, and he wanted everyone to be reminded that his favorite Dolly song is Coat of Many Colors. I don't think Newberry knew that we were just down in Dollywood, but I guess now he knows.
Does he know?
There are a lot of rhinestones on that Dolly Parton costume, that's right.
Yes. A lot of rhinestones on those costumes.
And tons of red ones on Dua Lipa's outfit. That's what Barbara had to say. There you go.
What?
I don't know a lot about Dua Lipa's outfits, but apparently she's got a lot of sequins on there.
Well, now I gotta do some research.
We just learned that one of the things that Dolly liked so much about having sequins or beads or whatever on her clothes was that she left a little sparkle of wherever she went. She left a little sparkle falling off her jacket
because they cut themselves loose because they're made of glass.
That's right, they're made of glass.
Our beads are made of glass. Our sequins are not made of glass.
That's okay.
But yes, our beads are made of glass.
As soon as you got that orange band on there,
I know it starts coming together.
It starts feeling like a rainbow. So 4 colors is not a rainbow, but 5 colors is.
Well, here's
unless
the thing.
Shari's about to tell me that one of her color projects that she's got mocked up over there is 4.
I think you can get as few as 3 and still feel rainbowy. Maybe not necessarily on this project because there's 6 stripes and that might look a little weird. But I think you can do as many as...
I think you're probably... I'm not going to disagree with that.
I suppose here's another thought.
Uh-huh.
If you wanted to do 4...
Sure.
And you wanted to make that top edge and the inside sewing like a border...
We got to hold it a little bit differently.
Say you wanted to do a stuffed rainbow and you wanted to make it easier on yourself. You could remove this stripe and you could keep that stripe off and do a 4 color. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Would you then have to do a white panel on top, or no? You were saying you would just stitch.
No, you just stitch.
So you wouldn't cut a tundra panel for the top circumhorizontal arc in the interior one. I would just leave just stitch them straight together.
Show you that I'm doing it all.
I mean, seeing Tangerine, Marigold, and Katydid together feels positive.
School, straight up kid time.
They read to me plaid beach chairs in a good way. Like that orange, yellow, and green. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I know what you mean.
We absolutely had a woven... I feel like we had a woven beach chair that was absolutely kind of in that color palette right there.
But my point was, if you wanted to do a rainbow with fewer colors, I think you could manage it if you wanted to.
Well, I should be doing that project, in my spare time. I should be the one.
Your spare time.
Yeah, my spare time. I should be the one knocking out rainbows with fewer colors. Like, everybody knows Sean's too busy to put all 6 colors on his rainbows. Right. You know what I mean? And he definitely can't be bothered to tie off.
Gotta shorten up these rainbows for Sean.
You say short, like trim the edges back, like they would be
right.
So, you're saying it's like I had a 12-page paper due and I brought all the margins in to 1.15 inches.
And the font is 13 instead of 12.
Yeah, and the spacing's 1.1. Yeah. Renee says we had a vinyl couch in those colors. See? Renee knows what we're talking about. Yeah. That's great.
Well, sure.
You can tell it's the summertime. We're talking about beach chairs, and it's the summertime for some of us. Not everyone is out of school yet. That's for sure. I have at least 2 friends with children who are still in school as we tape this on June the 3rd, 2025.
Indeed.
Oh, should be a crime.
Well, I mean, you know, adults have to work year round, so it's not like necessarily it makes it any easier for parents who
let me tell you something.
Have to go into an office or whatever.
When one of your parents is a school teacher growing up, it changes you.
I'm
you know
sure
what I mean?
That's
That
true.
changes your whole perspective on life.
I am sure that's true.
It changes, man. You know what summertime is for? Watching Wimbledon. That's what summertime is for. Summertime is for watching Wimbledon, riding bicycles. And Deb says, gosh, I love how that rainbow is looking with the exclamation point.
It's
there
fun.
You go. Uh-huh.
It's fun.
I know. And again, I can't add, as you can see, we have spent, I don't know, this is such a great, someone who hasn't stitched before, you know, you could hand them the rainbow die and you can hand them the felt and they would just be like off to the races.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, and without having to really even think necessarily or fussing with embellishment. I mean, even compared to like the most basic Christmas ornaments you've got, this is like a standalone thing that can just, you know.
Well, and I thought about adding a little bit of sparkle maybe on the clouds, but then I figured, well, if I'm going to do the silver thread, maybe I won't. I am going to add a heart to the clouds, though.
Yeah, but a heart, you know, again,
hearts.
that's just a few more stitches,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like that's all we're talking about.
Totally.
Everybody's letting us know now. Their kiddos don't get out until June the 11th.
Ooh.
Someone's got the last day today. Kids here in the UK, they break up on the 25th of July and they go back the first week in September. Okay. There you have it. This rainbow reminds me of Rainbow Bright Days, and yes, that completely ages me too. LOL. Yeah, it's all good. That, you know, Rainbow Bright, that's okay.
Rainbow Bright, totally.
We're in the right spot there.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty straightforward one, but like I did during the introductions, if you want to switch it up and use like the chain stitch and give the stripes a little more space, and make them a little more sparse, I think that looks really cute.
Yeah. I'm thinking, is it Paul Frank that's like the kids, the children's brand of like school supplies?
Lisa Frank.
Is that Lisa Frank?
Yeah.
Who's Paul Frank?
I think he's got the monkey stuff.
What? I'm sorry, Paul. What is it? What is this? What is it?
Yeah, like the monkey stuff.
Oh, okay. I would not have known that if I crossed that on the street. Okay, you're right about that. Sorry, Paul. And then Lisa Frank is the one who's like the
but
I'm thinking about.
I think Lisa Frank, I think like hot pink and teal and
purple. Oh yeah, look, you go to that Lisa Frank website and guess what? You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a rainbow on this bad boy. Look at this thing. We got aliens on rainbows. It's rainbows on everything. Okay, the pashta, I get that. Okay, that's fine. Right. I'm not going to take everybody down memory lane there. Deb says I was a Lisa Frank fan. Lisa Frank fan. Say that 5 times fast. Lisa Frank fan, Lisa Frank fan, Lisa Frank fan, Lisa Frank. Gotta run, gotta stitch, gotta finish preps for Vancouver. Ooh. Thanks for the rainbow ho front. See, Miriam knows what's up. Oh, you mentioned Miriam was going to be traveling to Canada. You did not say Vancouver.
Sorry.
Well, because when you go from Florida to Vancouver, that's like the complete, it's basically the complete opposite.
It's as far away as I think you can.
It's definitely the opposite sides of the NHL, that's for sure, right? When it was like Florida, Florida and Vancouver, that is like, good night. Fun fact, call back to last week, I was also Rainbow Bright for Halloween once, too.
Nice.
Shari was one, so she was Strawberry Shortcake and Rainbow Bright. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Rainbow Bright had that cute striped t-shirt.
Yeah, well, this is, I mean, you also sort of have,
this kind of vibe.
You have light bright vibes here too, a little bit though, don't you? You know what I mean?
I love the light bright, but we never found one at a garage sale, so I never got one.
You're slowly, with every stitch, you get about another millimeter or so off camera until all of a sudden we can't find you anymore.
I'm like a typewriter.
You're like a typewriter, yeah. No, you're like you're like our telescope.
Yeah, it drifts.
You're like the telescope with the very heavy eyepiece on.
And it drifts.
That's a very specific. That's a very specific.
I don't know how relatable that
reference.
is.
Yeah, I don't know how relatable the Dobsonian drift is to everybody here. Everything's all about optics today. It's prisms, it's rainbows, it's eyepieces, it's telescopes.
All right, I'm gonna go here and finish this stripe.
Renee, I wore those plastic costumes that now scare children. I don't think I know what she's talking about. You're saying just like the masks Halloween that were super practicey, or so. Mary Kobe was a light bright kid. There you go. Things that illuminate light through them those still stand the test of time, because at the library they have that light table. There's a light table with the magnetiles. They have lots of different. They'll put magnetiles. They'll put those. They have that one set of Legos that's not Legos. Right, that's sort of translucent. Yeah. Like all kinds of stuff goes onto that light table. That's great. I think that's part of the Color Your World. That's the theme for this year's library. Isn't that Sherwin-Williams? Isn't Sherwin-Williams Color Your World? I don't probably, but it's also the name of the theme for the library reading thing. I got you loud and clear. We're also doing a library event for a library near us. Oh, we haven't talked about that, have we? No, we haven't. We've not mentioned. We're teaching some teenagers to stitch. Yeah, so someone, a very dear friend of mine who actually taught me Latin in college is now a librarian at a local library branch. And she had seen one of these lives and said, would you all come to the library this summer and do a summer program and teach people how to stitch? And I was like, well, that's never a thing that we've ever thought about before. And so we said yes. And so now we're trying to figure out how many people are going to be there. Newberry wants to know for fishing for sponsors. No. No. With all these company name drops. Oh. No, we're just, chatty. No, I mean, if anyone at Lisa Frank, wants to talk, you can give my number, Andy. That's fine. I'm going to tell you about that a little bit later. You have to tell me about what a little bit later? Nobody at Lisa Frank wants to talk? No, there's a documentary you should watch before you try to get on. Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. Apparently there's a documentary that I haven't seen. Yeah. Newsflash. I don't watch movies or documentaries. There you go. Okay. So we were talking. Okay. So we're going to be stitching. We're going to be doing this. Yes. But not on camera. No. No. But we're going to take this thing on the road. And we're going to go teach teenagers how to stitch. How to do stitch. So we plan on die cutting a bunch of projects in advance. Yes. And then showing up with the matching thread. Yes. And the needles. Yes. And helping them stitch their way through a project. Yeah. Yeah, that they can then take home. Correct. Have we decided what the project is? Nope. That's why I asked you to call Amber this week and find out how many people are signed up. Well, I'm not going to call her right now. I'm on Stitching Live with Lizzie and Sean. I'm in the chair. But it's going to depend, I think, a little bit, because, if we're looking at like 12 kids, I don't necessarily want to get something super complicated. Renee's fleshing out the creepy plastic costumes. They pop up on Instagram randomly as scary facts. Victoria wants to know, are the teenagers willing to stitch or are they being coerced? That's great. We haven't heard from Victoria in a minute, and the first thing she wants to know is, are we forcing children to learn to sew? We're not forcing anybody to do anything, Victoria. No. It's a fun summer program. Then again, maybe no one has signed up and no one is willing to stitch. Kids these days. Nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody wants to stitch anymore. We don't believe any of that nonsense. It's ridiculous. Loads of people want to work. Loads. Right. Go ahead. What do you have? So we're going on our last stripe here, and we're going to put in a hanger. So I have... Yeah, I saw you getting the crochet ready. I don't know if anybody could see you in your little bubble up there, because I think you were... Well, I had that kind of straightened out. I had a little piece in my stitching tackle box over here, so I just grabbed it rather than realize I had left the rest of it downstairs. Now it's gonna. And that's cardinal you've got there? This is cardinal. So yes. That's $3.49. Correct. Thank you for flipping that over. I would. Yeah, I'm just dragging that into place there. $3.49. I mean, I guess we could get another camera and just zoom in on that. We'd have another little picture-in-picture until there's nothing on the screen at all except little windows of. You can't actually see any of what's going on. Yeah, and then Anthony will ask, is the thread in the same room as you, or the thread is in a different room? I hope he doesn't come back and watch it. He's going to watch that and be offended. No, he's not going to be offended. He, just send me electronic mail and I'll get back with him. All right.
So I've got both of my stripes on there.
Both of your red stripes on there. This is the longest of the stripes.
Tis, yes.
And so then after this, your plan is to add a heart.
To the clouds. And
then you're going to stitch the clouds together with silver thread.
Correct.
And that's the end of the project.
Pretty much.
Okay, good to know. Because I just started yawning.
I would love to make it as long as possible. I love making these things as long as they're entertaining. However, we still have quite a few pre-orders to get out, and I would like to get back to doing that so I can get them out for everybody, because gosh darn it, makes me nuts that I don't have them all out yet.
Dem says she teaches at a Girl Scout Leaders Retreat, and would it be okay to teach them using your projects?
Yeah.
Of course it would be okay to teach them using our projects. You can teach anybody you want about using our projects, totally. Dem. Yeah, absolutely. We know of people who have been on retreats who have done that very thing.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. I think it's really fun to bring more people into the, fold. Hey, that makes me wonder if I should ask Miss Joan if she ever wants to do a...
There you go. Mary says she was an avid stitcher as a teenager. Yeah, as a reminder, I learned how to stitch in the 6th grade. I was cross-stitching in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and I actually did... I did do projects outside of art class. I went on and did some more stitching as a hobby for a little bit. I used to buy my floss. I did not buy DMC floss. I think I bought JP Coates downtown at the Ben Franklin. There was a Ben Franklin 5 and dime store, and this would have been in 1992, 3, 4. This was not. We had a Ben Franklin that had JP Coates floss. That's where I got my cross stitching supplies. She says that there were no screen options. Her TV was on casters in the closet because Mom didn't like the way it looked in the living room. Well, Mary, our TV isn't in the living room either, so there you go.
It's down in the family room in the basement.
Newberry says that when we have to, when we can't be here, his plan with Shari as a fill-in has been dizzy bat stitching.
Oh, jeez. Make sure to send Andy some blunt needles.
Oh, that's so good. There was a time in our lives, Andy and I's lives, where everything had a dizzy bat component to it. If we were brainstorming ideas for what we could do for a camp out, it was what if we chug a can of soda? And then the other person, there'd be a short pause. What if it was dizzy bat chug a can of soda? And then write that down. And it was, everything had a dizzy bat component to it. I'm sorry, I should turn my window off for a second. That's great. I don't know. Shari hasn't said anything for a minute. Shari, if you're still there, blink twice if you know what dizzy bat is. Victoria says, I'm very excited. The shop says my pre-orders have been shipped. That's right, Victoria. Yes. I believe I handed that over myself today at the UPS store this morning. Didn't have a family room or a basement. Look at that. Victoria, fun fact, I went to Sandringham recently, and there was a cushion there that Prince Edward stitched for his mom for one of her jubilees. There you go.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
I mean, I used a sewing machine and made our ring bear pillow.
It's true.
But you're going to put in your hanger.
I'm going to put in my hanger.
Okay.
I'm just going to tuck it in here.
I'm going to drop this in as our only time.
And I don't think it's easy to see, but I'm just making sure that I stitch through the loop.
Sorry, just used the same emoji about the dizzy bat stitching that you used when I sent you the text about what Tilly was telling the babysitter today. Gosh. I don't even know what that emoji is called. Barbara thinks that key rings would be good for the teenagers.
Oh, that's true.
And Renee gave me a big old cha-ching on remembering Ben Franklin. We weren't big enough town for a Kmart until I was older. Renee, the town I grew up in is still not big enough for a Kmart. No. It was just Ben Franklin. An old boyfriend in high school sewed me a skirt from wool fabric, and it was very well done. There you go. Nice. That with Deb. There you go. I did stitch the ring bearer pillow at our wedding. I made that ourselves. I didn't stitch it. I was on a sewing machine.
And it was with scraps from my dress.
And it was the only time in my life, there was some satin there, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It's the only time in my life I stitched with satin. It was probably, I would guess that was the most well done sewing project I probably ever did.
And there was because you quilted it. So it wasn't just it was like a log cabin quilt block.
It was. I remember there was a log cabin. I don't remember quilting. I just remember that it was a log cabin quilt thing, and then it had like some kind of lace around the edge.
It had lace, and there was a little bit of swearing.
I remember. Yeah, I remember. I don't think I've stitched anything as precisely as I stitched that particular project.
I could tell you were working real hard on
that. That emoji looks like Shari's been hanging out at the Drunken Daisy. That's the Drunken Daisy.
My meaning of it was, oh, I can't believe Tilly's saying that to the babysitter, but I don't know what Shari means.
Hang on a second, Renee. It's getting hard. It's getting crazy in here. I can't keep up. Renee just said she worked at Ben Franklin when she was a teen. That was where she met the lady who taught her how to cross stitch. Also met Johnny Cash. Just dropping that in the chat. Wow. Did you tell him you keep a close eye on this cross stitch of mine?
I met Alice Cooper once.
What? Yes, I know you met Alice Cooper once when you were working at the old Walden Books. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I take that emoji from Shari at the Drunken Daisy to mean that she's not eager to do any dizzy bat stitching.
Perhaps not.
I don't know. Don't knock it until you've tried it.
I saw Snoop Dogg once.
We saw Snoop Dogg once. Didn't sell him.
Indeed.
Okay. This is great that I'm not the only person who's got some fond memories of ye olde Ben Franklin.
Good.
Yeah.
We did not have a Ben Franklin anywhere.
That's because you fancy.
I was
so fancy. Oh, you're so fancy. So fancy with your lack of Ben Franklin.
So fancy.
But the Ben Franklin had a door through it that went into the Hallmark. Or is that the other way around? The Hallmark went through to the pharmacy. It was like a turducken. It was kind of a turducken situation. I am aware of what a dizzy bat is. I have not tried it before, and Shari's emojis are getting more nauseated. We better use C. She also says blunt needles.
Blunt needles, that's right.
Deb says, since we're dropping names, she's met Donny Osmond. Hang on a second. It's getting hot in here now. Oh, boy. Donny Osmond. Okay. All right. Woo. All right. Now my teeth are sweating. Donny Osmond. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Now we're talking. I can't wait. This is great. I cannot wait what else appears in the chat or what's going to appear in the comments later. Someone's going to watch this tomorrow. Oh, Barbara says her mom had a full set of Coats anchor threads. There you go. There you go. JP Coats, man.
We only ever used DMC when I was a kid. And so that's just.
I remember the DMC was like it was like a nickel more per skein or something like that. Like there was enough of a price difference that I hung out in JP Coats land.
I don't.
Which was always tough because every time you picked up a cross stitch pattern, I think it usually referenced DMC. Like I don't think there was a lot of like. If you're buying the JP Coats from Ben Franklin, here's your color conversion chart. Like I don't think that was a thing.
That wasn't a thing.
Deb just followed up Donny Osmond with Billy Graham. There you go. Right. There you go. So it's going in a direction. Newberry, there's a rumor the Thanksgiving drop this year is a turducken. Please confirm. All right, did you draw a turducken for this year?
No.
No. Okay. That's incorrect, Andy. I've still never had a turducken.
We have a turkey already.
There's a turkey trot. That's sure. So we have the turkey. We have the chicken. We have Little Red. We don't have the duck. We don't have the duck. So if you were to draw a duck, then I could do stitching line. I would like layer them all together and just try to see which holes might line up with the other holes. No. Somewhere we'd find like it'd be kind of it'd be like this. It looked like some kind of like April Fool's Franken project. That sounds like a great use of time and effort, but you do you. Wait, Renee, what is she talking about? Johnny Cash. Literally, it was Kmart in the garden shop in the summer. It was hot. They were punishing me for always talking too much. They put her in the garden center because she was talking too much. And so she looked up and there he was. She literally sold Johnny Cash a load of cow manure from the garden center Kmart when she was in high school. That's so rad. That's it. Everybody, thanks for joining us today. I'm going to go Sean's already done. I'm done. That's it. Good night, everybody. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. That's amazing. Kelly's here. She met Dave Matthews. There you go. There you go. All right. Jason Donovan and Cliff Richard, they're at a church service in Leeds. There you go. Alice Cooper bought
theology books.
Now, I thought Alice Cooper's kids were buying like the Wheel of Time book. No, they bought C.S. Lewis books or something, I thought is what you told me. I thought you told me that Alice Cooper was...
Books.
Oh, I thought it was C.S. Lewis. It sounds like Liz is definitely on board with the turducken concept. That's so great. Oh, that's awesome. Mary says, impressive stitching speed while chatting, Lizzie.
Well,
that's right.
you.
That is always the case.
I'm always a little faster on my lap, but I'm trying to keep it visible for the
Yeah,
class.
when you finished that project last week, you came downstairs and I was like, "Are you done already?" And you're like, "Bro, I'm so much faster when I'm not stitching, when I can stitch like near my face."
Yeah.
And I always tell you, if you want, we can go, now that people get the gist of it.
People can't see what I think the whole point is to be able to see it come together.
That depends. If you have it up by your...
Watch Lizzie and Sean yammer about stuff while...
I'm saying if you were stitching that by your, like, see where my hands are right now? Like, if you were stitching it here, they'd be able to see you for sure.
I suppose, but I don't know that I want a camera that close to my face.
I don't know that you do. I think that I can look at...
I don't think anyone ever wants a camera that close to their
Before
face.
I change the screen, I can see how the camera looks on your full, like how it would look.
But now I'm going to go to a new thing.
Oh, boilins. Okay, I just wanted you to put it in the place where perhaps you would be stitching with it.
Usually I'm stitching like right here.
You hold it there for a second. Yeah, we can't see anything.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Unless that camera zoomed in so far.
No zooming.
I'm not doing it. I'm just, I'm curious over here. Oh, yeah. We could absolutely, especially when we get later in the chats, we could totally bring it out enough that we would be able to see you in your regular stitching posture.
My regular stitching.
Yeah, your RSP. We'd be
RSP.
able to figure that out. Yeah, that'd be easy breezy. We should do that some week.
Okay, well.
The strawberries and ice cream were nice, says Barbara.
No, now you're just bragging.
Now you're just rubbing it in.
Okay, so I've got a couple of the little hearts here.
Look at that thing, man.
Yeah.
When we started with nothing, and now we have a rainbow.
Now we're here.
Now we're here. Yeah, started from the bottom, literally, of the rainbow.
Yeah, literally from the rainbow.
And now the whole band's here.
So now I'm going to put on...
What are you putting on now? The clouds?
I'm putting the little hearts on the clouds. So I need the right thread for that.
Hang on a second. There are cloud pieces that you stitch on top of the bottom, which already has clouds? Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it covers up all the ends.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yep.
And you're going to do that with white, I presume.
Yeah.
Or silver, like we talked about earlier.
Silver and white. I do the two together because that way...
Onto the clouds? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the heart...
Yeah, because it's only one stitch.
The heart only has one stitch.
So there's no, like, holes-only die for this because... I've done holes-only dies for stuff before, and I'm like, honestly, it's just easier to do the one stitch. So, we're going to put them on this cloud. This is the one going on the back. So, wherever you want it, sort of treat it like a giant sequin in that way.
We just need Lizzie to get a GoPro. She can attach it to a headset and give us Lizzie vision.
I did have a friend come over once to help me like figure out, like he does camera stuff, like film stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he tried to give me not great with the video.
We don't need a GoPro. We'll just delete everything off your old phone after we extract the photos from it, and then we'll just make you a headband.
I was gonna say
You just wear your old phone.
Wear my old phone.
Then
we won't
do a little pop out though. Then because that would look. I guess
that would look ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean even the GoPro on your head would look a little bit ridiculous.
I mean it's all gonna look.
And this isn't the Kive TV. We're not at the barber shop. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, gonna put another one on here.
Victoria, that's a pretty fun idea. We just don't know how we can make it look beautiful. You know?
Oh boy.
I'm not letting a GoPro get in between my wife's beautiful face and a camera. Come on.
Gosh.
Come on, I'm not doing that. I'm not obscuring.
This guy.
I'm not obscuring any of that stuff.
You're sweet.
Okay, so we're still doing the heart. That's what's happening?
I'm just putting little hearts on here.
Oh, got it. I couldn't see that. So there's your cloud. And where did you decide to place your heart on the cloud?
Off to the side a little bit.
I can't see it. No, show the camera. Don't show me. Silly goose.
I thought you were talking to me. There.
Yeah, I was talking.
You know what I meant.
I was talking to you.
I thought you meant you. Okay.
I went like this. He went like that. I said, where'd he go? He said, where'd who go? All right, so that's where the heart is going.
Leave it alone.
Okay, that's where the heart is going. Thank you.
And I'm doing one for each side. So then I have one for this side. And we're just going to put the clouds on next.
Okay, and this is where you're going to pull together both silver and white thread to do that.
Correct.
Okay.
But I left the white over.
Renee just says Top Gun. Ha ha, Renee. This is great. Yes, indeed.
Oh, it's his favorite movie, like, of all time.
Shari says hearts make... No. It was my favorite movie when I was a child.
And you've
I still very much enjoy the Top Gun, but do not... I'm not going to let you let that stand on YouTube.
Okay, so this is E168. This is the silver we're stocking.
You said it's E168.
Yes.
Which is a silver thread that you can get from Pashta Design.
Correct.
Okay.
But it is a pain in the tuchus when you use it by itself.
Oh.
So... I am going to cut white thread and kind of...
I can't believe you're doing that. Just measure from your fingertips to your armpit like me and Mom.
You know what? I set up my refrigerator like your mom. I don't have to set up my stitching like your mom. Just because you said so. By the way, I love my mother-in-law, like a lot. She's wonderful.
And she has a great refrigerator. Among other things. So I don't know why you had to drag the refrigerator in.
Just saying. Okay, so what I do is I use 2 strands of white.
Uh-huh.
And 1 strand of silver.
Oh, that way the silver, you're really making the silver last there.
Well, yes. I mean, there's that. It's expensive thread, and so it is a nice way to kind of get it to stretch. But more than that, it really tangles on itself.
The silver thread really tangles on itself?
If it's used, like if you use three or more strands together of just the silver, it's like, it makes me a little cranky. So,
I'm waiting for Deb to chime in on this, because Deb has done a bunch of stitching. She's going to tell me how annoying it is to stitch with metallic threads. She's going to let me know.
I just find this to be a much easier way to go about things. So I do 1 strand of silver and 2 of white. Yes, Chuckles.
Oh, Renee's talking about she wanted to break Netflix's record and watch not just Fellowship of the Rings 365 times this year, but the entire trilogy. She's failed, but there's always next year. Renee, that is... You got to pace yourself.
That's a lot of...
That's a lot of endings. You know, Jack Nicholson walked out of Return of the King and tapped old boy Elijah Wood on the shoulder and just whispered in his ear, "Too many endings, kid," and just walked up and out of the aisle, so...
Yes, that's a lot of endings. Okay.
Have you... Oh, wait. Shari wants to know, have you used the Diamond Grand Metallic?
I have not.
That seems like a no.
I have not.
Deb says very annoying both by hand and by machine. Okay, good to go.
Yes. And so this this sort of cutting it with the cotton helps a lot, I think. And then it's just like you got a little sparkle here and there. It's not like it doesn't overwhelm. Does that make sense?
Yes. You're talking about
like
an overwhelming amount of metallic thread on your little clouds.
It doesn't look like a gray line. Instead, it looks like a little pop of silver.
Got it. Okay.
Makes sense?
I did just add a time code for anybody for later on that says, here are some tips for stitching with metallic thread. You can really see all the layers there. When you turn that thing sideways, that's like the best view I've ever seen on camera because it's tundra. Like you turn that bad boy sideways.
Yes.
And you might as well be stitching through a marshmallow. Look at that thing.
It's true. I do, I like sea spray as a base for the rainbow too.
Yeah, sea spray is a nice base.
And so
not
is
poolside.
Glacier.
And Glacier, but not poolside.
It's a little dark for me, personally.
And you said you were you're stuffing the clouds, or no? You're not stuffing the clouds.
I thought about it, but
That's okay. The feelings left me too.
I don't know. With this many layers of felt, I don't know how much you would see the stuffing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like
with that many layers.
You'd have to really shove it in there for it to show well. And I don't have the energy.
Now you would never use you would never use like Overcast or something, right?
I have used Overcast.
You've used Overcast for a cloud?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because, that is cloudy, right? Like the name of the color is cloud, basically. Okay.
And I've also used white clouds, but with like little overcast rainbows or
hearts. How many rainbows have you stitched by now?
5.
That's a lot. I cannot believe you've done all of these.
I really like this die. It's honestly, this was the first thing I designed of the May release, and after it was done, I was so excited that I wanted it to be like I wanted it to be ready to go, but then I had to wait a couple months, and then we had some manufacturing hiccups, and so it took a while to get this die. But when I first designed it, when I first drew it, I was like, oh, I cannot wait for this one, and I have since used it several times. I like it a lot.
Deb says that it's the friction from pulling the thread through that causes it to split more than regular thread or embroidery thread. And then Kelly just jumped in to say she's stitching another big bee today. Just love it.
The bee is fun too.
There you go. The bee is very fun.
I thought this would be a fun start to June.
This is a great start. And then every time, I can't believe every time I look up at the screen, it's like, boom, there's a whole rainbow there that wasn't there a while ago.
It's really fun. It's a fun die.
Because we haven't, we did a coin purse start to finish last week.
Yeah.
I feel like we had a couple of weeks there where we weren't necessarily getting all the way to the end of the project for various reasons. Now that it's summertime and we've got a babysitter as opposed to go pick up.
There's a couple of...
I mean, you're still well within the time right now. You would be in great shape if we were still going down to do a pickup here.
Well...
Presuming you can bring this thing into the harbor in the next 12 minutes.
I think so.
Try the diamond. It doesn't split as much. It's still annoying, but just a little less annoying, Shari says.
Noted.
Okay. Is that their tagline? We're just a little less annoying.
It's just a little less annoying.
I expect to get a phone call or a strongly worded email from those folks. Excuse me, Mr. Jones. Nothing about our product is annoying. We manufacture only the finest.
It's great.
In metallic.
Oh, sorry. Tilly's laughing and I was making sure it was not crying. It adds a great effect.
Of course it adds a great effect.
But I do try to sort of like dilute the irritation a little bit with the cotton. And it does help.
Victoria is asking Shari in the chat, how well does the diamond hold a knot? Am I even pronouncing that right? D-I-A-M-E-N-T. Diamond? Diamond. What is it? How do you pronounce that?
Oh.
Diamond. A jewelry and gift store featuring small brands. Oh, that can't be what I'm looking for.
I almost lost it.
Don't lose it.
Got it.
Apparently it's bigger in jewelry than it's... What? Oh, it's got an A. Sorry. Diamant thread. Whoa. Oh. It must also be...
It's a DMC
product. Oh, it's also DMC. Oh, so we're not chasing people away from...
I just...
Got it. Oh.
I did not.
Oh, it's a smooth, non-divisible metallic thread that adds diamond-like shine to cross-stitch and embroidery. It's a soft, tangle-free floss that glides effortlessly through fabric.
Okay.
It's the equivalent of 2 strands of our standard embroidery floss.
Okay.
I'm going to read the technical details.
Well, now I want to try it. But I have not tried it.
It's 89% viscose and 11% polyester. Viscose.
Yeah. Viscose.
Oh, some of them are all polyester.
I was going to say, this silver is all polyester.
It's sold in reels of 38 yards in 13 colors.
Noted.
Okay.
Well, I can't put a reel in a pillow box, Shari.
What are you talking about?
For the color stories. I'm just teasing.
Oh, got it. Look at that.
We started carrying this silver because I thought it would be a really great complement for the Star Spangled, for the other colors in Star Spangled. Color story.
When we were like, hey, are we going to do anything that's kind of summery and July, 4th of July type themed?
People have asked a lot.
And we're like, okay, great. But then we were like, well, let's put some silver thread there.
Let's do something different. Well, because I didn't want to do a full 5 colors because I was like, I don't know whether I go gray or whether I go another blue or whatever, and I didn't want to double up on any of the felts, so instead I decided to just do a 3, and then it was like, well, all of our other mini color stories have you know, 5 threads, and so we were like, well, we'll do 4 threads, but one of them will be the silver one, so that way, like, value wise it still makes sense, but you're getting something a little bit unique and special.
Yeah.
The amount of time that I think about the value of the products that we carry and create for you is immense. I did just lose it. Gosh darn it.
Oh boy.
It's fine.
Sherry says, yes, it's thicker and comes on a spool. It doesn't split like the skeins do. So that's good to know. There you go. Now I want to know, there's Diamant and there's also Diamant Grande.
What is that?
I don't know, man. It's probably, you know, just bigger, thicker. Maybe it's sparklier.
Sparklier. How could you get sparklier?
I don't know.
There's so in this same line of thread, they have like, there's a glow in the dark.
Oh, I did not know that.
And there's
you mean in the E line? The line that the silver
the light effects,
Oh, the light effects line.
That's what these are called. These are called light effects.
Well, I'm curious what kind of project Shari has done with this fancy sparkly thread here. Like, I'm curious to know.
I've seen somebody doing like a Christmas tree topper with that thread.
Oh.
And it's very cool. I mean, it's just that generally speaking, we work with the skeins more often than anything else.
And you're just burying your ends there inside.
Yeah, I'm just burying
I see that.
ends.
Okay.
Sorry.
As I look over, no, you don't have to apologize. No, you can see that. They're at 1:28 in 30 seconds. Just you burying the end after you've tied off the knot. Pulling it tight, and then giving that a little snip. And then you're going to do the other cloud there, huh?
Yep.
See, I feel like this is the moment where I could go to the full camera shot. And you could stitch at a comfortable level. What? What's the uh-oh?
My thread's stuck.
Thread is stuck.
Devil. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna take that off. I'll worry about that other side in a second here, and then we'll get the other two going.
Great. I'm gonna put the camera on you when you're doing that. Is that?
I guess.
That's what it's gonna look like. See, I'm pointing right now. See, that's what the shot's gonna look like right there.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's great. See, look. Oh, look, it's you again, and I can get your little window out of there. Perfect. Shari, I use it on my beautiful Bell's wreath and my snowy stars.
Oh, okay.
Deb wonders if it works in a machine like for quilting.
Oh.
And I'm going to wait for the answer on that one too. I don't know. That's a good question. You can, every time you do that and I'm leaning over.
Sorry.
Because maybe people don't really know how closely we do sit together.
We do sit very close together.
Yeah, I don't know about the image control there. I can really blow it out. People can see the hole behind the scenes. Oh.
Just no, there it is.
I think I smashed the button so many times that it's locked up now.
Did you kill it?
No, we're still here.
Maybe you should stop smashing buttons.
I don't know. I'm going to keep smashing buttons until I get what I want. Blurp. 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 I've not used it in machine, so she does not know.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I think if I just kept leaning, I don't have to move the camera. I just keep leaning this way until. Oh wow, your hands are cold.
My hands are always cold
on my bald head. Okay, so now you're stitching the last of the.
I'm layering the last of
the cloud there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
And I'm gonna start on the outside edge, so I don't have to fuss with this other.
Okie doke.
Cloud there.
Deb says, when I get some, I'll try it. And I'll let you know. That's great, Deb. We want a full report. Double space, 2 pages. Size 1 margins. No cheating. Trimming your rainbow down there. No cheating.
Wait, where am I?
You're doing great. Just stitch normally. And if I have to follow you around, I'll try and follow you around. And if it doesn't make any sense, then we won't do this again. But, it seems like a risk we could take.
Wait, am I stitching normally up by my face?
Yeah, you're stitching up normally by your face. That's the whole point. Yeah.
Wow.
See, look, there you go. I think people have gotten the idea of doing the running stitch on the rainbow and on the cloud. And in the interest of time and what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
In the interest of just like, I don't know, time and having fun. Look, there you go. Now you can stitch normally for a change. Okay, so after today, we're going to have to work on our rainbows.
Yes.
Our rainbow color story options.
Our rainbow
for the newsletter.
Suggestions.
Our rainbow suggestions. And the rainbows are, there's traditional.
Yeah. I
There's,
feel like this is a fairly traditional palette.
Sure, there's going to be some kind of boho is what it sounded like.
I've done like a pastel-y kind of baby.
Then there's like a paint, like a pastel-y kind of rainbow. Okay, sure. And then what happens after that?
I don't know.
Is there like a real like skittly?
This isn't skittly to you?
Oh no, that's traditional Skittles. I'm thinking about like the ones that come in those like kind of purpley packs.
Like the mixed berry or whatever?
Yeah,
Tropical
or whatever. Like, I mean, what kind of rainbow do you want to see? You want to see something that's like just super saturated and obnoxious?
I celebrate all the rainbows.
Like essentially like a real like jewelry tone kind of rainbow?
Sure.
Anybody else is ready to toss out a type? Because I'm still stuck at 3. It's just traditional, boho, and
I don't know what to say.
Oh.
I've done like a...
What am I missing here?
I've done like one that wasn't quite so pastel. Sort of like strikes a balance in the middle. With like a darker pink instead of like a pastel pink as the start. And then...
Oh, Shari's already texted you 3 rainbows.
Awesome.
Okay, great. Apparently she hasn't named them though, or they don't have a particular style or vibe. Or maybe she just texted that faster than she could text the names of... Ever since Mary last week when we were stitching, with the new color story, right? Tropical Twist. And then she was talking about the Alpine Ski that was like 80s neon. I've got a total like... It's like Mary Kobe spent her whole life in an arcade is what it seems like. Would definitely love to know the boho colors have projects in mind. There you go.
Yeah, I got a little twisty. See, that's the thing.
You got a twisty with the metallic thread there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine now.
You wouldn't do like a muted, or the boho is muted.
The boho is muted.
The boho is muted. So it's not like vintage per se. Or it is. Is there a difference between like a vintage rainbow and a boho rainbow in your mind? No, not so much. Shari says she didn't know that she had to name them. All right, great. I'll do the heavy lifting then, Shari. That's fine. That's fine. I can do the heavy lifting. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Not a problem. I sent Sean the boho since he's so confused. Well, good thing I had the do not disturb on over here. Oh, there was a photo. This came up a long time. Okay, that's the boho. Well, now wait, there's 6 colors there.
There's 6 stripes, sir.
Oh, you're right. There are 6 stripes, but every color stripe is okay. That's
why I called
that's Shari's
sweater weather a jumping
rainbow.
off point.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'm seeing that. So she's got a different red than we used, a different orange. Oh, every color. She switched them all out. Okay.
That's the whole point
what?
of doing different ones.
That's the whole point of doing different. Okay, great. And of course, she has them labeled She's got little P-Touch labels on them. Okay, great.
Yeah, she showed me her organization. It's the sort of thing that makes your wife think, man, I really shouldn't get myself organized.
Okay, so I have to come up with the name of Shari's boho rainbow color now.
You don't have to do anything.
What am I going to call this? I'm going to call it something. The beauty of a rainbow. A gradient colored rainbow would be pretty too, Heather says.
Yeah, like monochromatic rainbows are fun. The idea of doing like all pinks or,
and then you could blue, and then you could do yourself. You could do like a hanging banner where it was like a red bottom.
You're showing a lot of
what?
Ambition.
Oh, sure, yeah.
For this project that you've dreamed up.
Well, I'm just so inspired by all the colors today.
Well, it's a fun thing. Rainbows are fun.
Really, it's the Katydid that did it. It's the Katydid that just put a jolt, in, because I know that Katydid is not one of our more used green colors.
No, I mean it's not been around as long as some of them, but
yeah, if this morning in bed you had been like, "Hey, we're stitching with Katydid today," I would have just jumped. I would have jumped onto the floor, just
bounding out of bed
because
ready to hit the Katydid hard.
It's Katydid day, yeah. I think even for me, that's pretty unbelievable. No one in the chat is buying that. I don't think.
No,
yeah,
I'm not. And
Kelly Smith says Christmas rainbow.
Ooh, I could come up with some fun.
Okay, this is great.
I feel like this is just.
I will hold Lizzie's feet to the fire on this e-newsletter, and then what we can do is when we send the newsletter out, we can link to this video. And then the link can be like, watch all these color stories get born in real time 2 weeks ago when you weren't watching.
That's the
Next time, join us with Stitching Live. What?
I feel like this is a lot like what I do for color story conception.
Uh-huh.
And I already have a lot of that to do this week. So.
That's true. Heather says Halloween colors. She would try to see that. And Victoria Phillips says, what about supersized color stories for the rainbows? I'd consider it, Victoria, but you keep sliding that U in there in color, and I'm just not so sure we're speaking the same language. That's the thing. Just sneaking that bad boy in there all the time. Okay. So you're about to be done with this cloud rainbow, it looks like, huh? That's great. Now, what are we going to do with this when we're done with it? Are we hanging this someplace?
Yeah, we're going to hang it up.
Where are we going to hang it?
On a little tree that's got all of our summer decorations.
Okay, that's where we're hanging it. It's going to go on the summertime tree. Got it.
Because we celebrate the rainbow.
There you have it. Okay. And I'll have to zoom in maybe on the table, or you have to set it back on the table when you're done maybe. And that's where we'll conclude the day here. As we're coming to the very end, it was great to stitch with everybody.
Indeed.
Am I too close with the wrap up there? Are you on your way back? Where are you right now in the stitching?
I'm like 2 stitches away.
2 stitches away. Okay, great.
Maybe 3.
Oh.
If you count that half that's going in to meet the other half.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Other kinds of rainbows.
Just going to go in between the layers. Tie off my ends.
Okay.
And then I'll hide them here in just a second.
And then you have to push it there onto the table, and I will try and make some movie magic here.
Oh, I still have an end on the other side peeking out at us.
You're holding your tail so much that it left the end out the other side?
No, I left it out because I didn't want.
It seemed like it gave you had the one little twisty.
I had a couple little twisties, but they're mostly fine.
I say I didn't hear a lot of consternation over there.
No, I don't tend to grumble too much about my stuff.
Now, have we decided what we're stitching next week?
You've got the calendar, sir.
I'm looking at the calendar right now. What do we think we're stitching next week? Next week, it was planned to be the Sewing Essentials.
Oh, the needle book.
The needle book, which is one that people have asked about. A lot. So that is probably going to take, that'll be a little bit more instruction maybe than what we had today.
Yeah, today was just sort of, this is a fun thing, let's put it together.
It's going to be a little bit more like, Sean, do your job and really tease out kind of the best practices and the steps there.
Yeah.
Okay. So next week is supposed to be the needle book. Heather said she would hang what you've got right there on the mirror in your car.
Oh, that's a fun thought.
That would have to be, I'd have to have a longer crochet hanger, wouldn't I? That's not going to go over my mirror, is it?
Maybe not.
I guess I get myself a carabiner. Mm-hmm. Just like clip it on up there.
That's a fun thought that I hadn't considered, though.
I talked about fuzzy dice once, remember? I was like, we could stitch up some fuzzy dice.
You did talk.
Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be a fun felt project?
Wouldn't it, though?
Victoria said she was just supersizing color. That's great. She put color in quotes when she had to spell it the American way. What are you doing over there?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Are you going to finish this off so we can see it?
I'm working on it.
You could probably trim the edges picture-in-picture is. Let's start there first.
I don't know where anything is anymore.
There you go.
I need to hide my ends, but there's
it's upside down, Vinny. What are you doing?
No, sorry.
There we go.
I need to hide my ends still.
It's drifted off to the side. I can only
for
see
pity's sake!
I turned the monitor towards you so that you could see it. I turned the monitor towards you. Oh, you put the hearts on the same side, front and back. I see. I thought it was going to be like a heart here and a heart there.
No. There's one on each side.
There's one on each side of
yes.
Okay, great.
Sorry, I don't mean to stretch at you.
That's okay.
Folks. But yes, there's one on each side. So there's...
Oh, Heather said she did that with the bat die. She gave them away as gifts to friends during Halloween and used stretchy cording to put over there.
Oh, that's so smart.
Great. Shari, have a great walk with Scout. That sounds fun.
Yay.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
For another week of Stitching Live.
Yes.
And if you've got friends that, need to learn how to stitch live, send them this video and tell them you can do anything.
You can do a rainbow.
You can do anything. The rainbow is a great starter project. And then we'll see you back next week. And in the meantime, if you're watching this and you haven't gotten your pre-release order.
Pre-ordered.
Your pre-order kit.
Pre-release is not a thing.
Okay, your pre-order kit. We're going to get this out very soon.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, everybody. Toodaloo. I'm going to stop.